Hi, sweet and lovely friends. Welcome to Sweet Kitty Crafts. Happy New Year to you all. How have you been? Today it's Thursday and it's the 5th of January 2017. I hope you had lovely holidays and everything went okay. And yeah, I've got a few things to show you, and I've got a few acquisitions, and we got the giveaway, of course. Let's start with the giveaway, because probably you will all be excited to win this lovely project bag from Jubero Shoes. So I put all your names into the bowl, and let's draw a winner. Here it is. Good luck. And here is the winner. If you please contact me, I will send a lovely bag to you as soon as possible. If you can contact me through Ravelry or Instagram, that would be great. If you can't, just leave a message and we work something out. It's 2017 and maybe you're a new viewer, or maybe you didn't watch the first episode, so I thought, yeah, let's still do a little bit introduction about me. So I'm Jolanda and I live in the Netherlands. I'm married. I have 2 teenage sons, 3 cats and a dog, one dog only. Yeah, I grew up in a big city in the middle of the Netherlands, and when we were married, my husband lived a while away from his work, and the Netherlands is pretty crowded, so there were a lot of traffic jams, and we decided to move to a very small town, and it's really in the countryside, and we bought a house there. Yeah, and it's 16 years ago now. And we are very happy here. It's much more quiet. You're way closer to nature, which we really love. And yeah, we kind of escaped the noise from the city. So I've been knitting and crocheting a very long time. Since I was real little, I think my mother was a crafty person. My aunt was. And yeah, I started knitting very young, I think maybe 6 years old, I'm not really sure. We did knit a lot of clothes, me and my friend, for the dolls we had, and yeah, I knitted a sweater for myself, mostly sweaters actually. And it was also always a little bit of a problem because I was very tall and I had no clue about how to adapt the patterns, so the sleeves were always a little bit too short, and my back also. But yeah, I've always kept knitting actually through my teenage years. When I got my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, I knitted him a sweater for his birthday, and it was he had a motorcycle and it was a particular brand, and I knitted those the letters in his sweater, so yeah, that was pretty cool. And when the little children were born, I bought myself a knitting machine because I've got arthritis, and there was a point I really couldn't knit because of the pain in my hands and my wrist, and well, it's everywhere. But I got myself a knitting machine, and I made real nice intarsia, like the little characters the children like, and I made them lots of sweaters. And then I discovered another treatment, so I could start my knitting again, and I got loads and loads of yarn for my knitting machine, which is very thin. So I thought if I had something to twist it, like a very cheap old-fashioned spinning wheel, I could apply those thin yarns together to make a little bit of bulkier yarn, so I could use them to knit. So that's how I got my first spinning wheel. It was, I think, sorry, 25 euros, and it was somewhere close by, so we picked it up. And then I thought, well, yeah, spinning wheel. I had to try some little bit of fiber and to see if spinning is something I would like to do. Yeah, I should have done that, because then I got hooked on spinning. It's such an amazing thing to do and so relaxing once you mastered how you got to do it. It's not really very relaxing at the beginning, because you get real stressed about keeping the yarn together and everything. So that was a very old spinning wheel, and it was wibbly wobbly, and it made a lot of sound and noise, and my husband got a little bit irritated when I was spinning when he watched television, because all the sounds, and he said, how much will it be if you buy yourself a new spinning wheel? So I think I'll jumped right into it, and we found one who was on sale. It was a show model, so it was a lot cheaper than expected, and I bought that one, and we had to finish it with just a finish, and he put it for me together, and it's a Grumsky Fantasia, and I love it. I still love it, but knowing me, I'm always a bit over the top when I got something new. I just can't stop, and I've got a very bad foot. That is, the bones are just destroyed by the arthritis. So if I spin too long, my foot swells up like a balloon. It's just the same when I'm walking. So, and then there was the electric spinning wheel. So I use them both still. I still love the manual operated one a little bit more, because you got more control, you got more feel of what you're doing. But I can switch between the two now, and that's much better for all the joints and muscles and the things that get cramped up. So, enough of me. If you got something you want to share with me about how you started, or maybe something you're obsessed about and don't know where the breaks are and just keep going until midnight and morning, and I would love to hear that. I've got a few finished objects for you. I've done a lot of spinning, actually. I found an internet site which is called Knit Crate. I want to tell you something about that. And let's just jump into it. There will be a lot of socks today. I'm sorry, should have brought a little bit of water. One of the goals for this year, and I really would like to know if you've got some goals for this year, is to use up stash yarn. And this started with these socks. I had just 50 grams of this variegated yarn, and I think something like that of a blue and a black yarn that were just scraps. So I'll hold them double to make it the same gauge as the thicker one. It was knitted on 2.75 needles. So these are a little bit more sport weight socks for my son. And that was some of my stash yarn, and just keeping it and saving it, and got ideas but never came around to it. So this is the year it's going to happen. These were socks I already started last year, and you've seen them before, but they're finished, and they're cotton, silk and merino. And I'm really curious about wearing them. The cotton feels real cottony. And I think that will be great for the warmer days also. So I love them. They got a little bit, the stretch it's just a bit looser. I wonder how they will wear, so I'll let you know next time. They're just my standard sock patterns and nothing fancy. Now I just see another pair of socks, and I wanted to show you the band, and I hope I've got it here. Yeah, I do. Good. These I really love. It's the active sock yarn, and it was a very cheap yarn. They made a mistake on the ball band, and they said it was washable, machine washable at 40 degrees, and it should have been 30 degrees, so they discounted the yarn for only €1.99, and it was a 100-gram ball. So this will be the cheapest socks ever, and I so love the patterning. I also got it in blue, I think green, and a few more colors, because it just felt so very nice. It's just wool and nylon, but look at those. I think, so just amazing. I love the colors, I love the patterning. And these I knit on the 9-inch circular needles, and I just found a new love, because look at this, there's no lettering, nowhere to be found, because there's no changing needles, and you can really get used, your muscles and your fingers got to get used to the tiny little needles. And I'll switch to little circulars, double pointed needles, and magic loop, and you get used to it. But the effect, I don't think it's the favorite kind of knitting for me, but the effect is the most beautiful I've ever seen, because absolutely no lettering. And I did a 1x1 rib this time, and all-time favorite German short row heel. And I heard a little tip from Eric from Sticks Plus Twine. If you are annoyed by the striping that doesn't continue, I think it does pretty good. But there's a better way. If you start from the inside or the outside of the ball, it doesn't matter, and you get to the heel, you go and take the other end of the ball and use it for the heel. So this one, the beginning will continue, and when you're finished the heel, you just keep knitting the yarn that was already there. I hope it makes sense. But just knit the heel from the other side of the ball, so the striping will continue. I think it was a good idea, a neat idea. The only downside, I think, you get 2 ends to weave in, and I wonder if it will be a weak spot for the heel. But I think it's a nice thing to try, and I love those. So that's 3 pairs of socks. I had also an idea for this year to knit at least 1 pair of socks a month. Well, those are always 3 pairs, and January is not even finished yet. Right. Great. Just go on with the finished stuff. So I finished all the English wool I showed you last time, and there were these 2 massive skeins and these 2 little ones. So I'm curious if it's enough for the sleeveless cardigan I was thinking about, but I can always combine it with some other things from our stash, because I've got a lot of hand spun, and there are multiple colors in here. I don't know if it's really showing up, but you can always combine it, and we will see. I love the yarn. It's I wanted really a bit bulkier yarn, because I always been very thin, and just wanted something a bit rustic and nice and warm. So this was the amazing big skein, like a little yarn baby, that's what you call it, I think. And this is the Falkland with tencel, and it's just now it's washed and skeined up and ready to become something nice. This is not skeined up yet, but I needed the bobbins from a spinning wheel, so this is what I did finish also. It's a 2-ply, and it's the very soft merino, which got also multiple colors in there. So I was also planning on really pursuing my designing something I really wanted to do for a long time. So that's a goal for me for this year also, to design a shawl or cowl or something nice, to really make it my own and to share it with anyone who also likes it. So I was looking on the Amazon for some patterning books, and I really always got inspired by flowers and nature, and that's really the lovely patterns I look for. So this was a very nice book, Flowers and Leaves, and it's 70 stitch patterns. So from some very easy little rosettes to some very amazing leaves and borders, and what I always like is the bit of a romantic and kinds of knits. And I was thinking about a cowl, and not a very long one, but a bit just medium size, and then it might flare a little bit out, and on the edge a very nice lace panel or something like that. It would be great. And for a shawl, I would like to try the ones that really not very long, but a little bit of shallow, and but they're supposed to be wide, as the increasing are going much faster than they usually do. So just the ideas are coming, and this would be great for a border also, I think. Very nice stuff in here. I bought multiple pattern books just to get ideas, and we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you informed. I saw the podcast of Andre Sue, who's Andre Sue Knits, and it was a while back. I think it was in November, and she had a coupon code for Knit Crate, and I looked it up, and it is a sort of a company who sells yarn, but also I bought the newbie socks, and it is a prescription for a month, and it will be renewed if you don't cancel it. And the newbie socks was a box. You got a skein of yarn, you got a pattern, you get some videos you can look, and it's step by step on how to cast on, how to turn the heel, how to pick up stitches, things like that. So really a beginner is would be really helped by those. And you got some little tools to help you on the way. So the first pattern was the Rose City Roller socks, which are shorty socks with a rolled up cuff. And I don't like shorty socks, but who cares? The summer will be coming eventually, and I probably will wear them. So I'm knitting these on double point needles. 2 at a time is my preference anyway. So this is the heel flap. And they're really good in showing it on the video. They're all short videos, just for every part a new video. So if you're new in knitting socks, or maybe you just want to brush up on the techniques, I think it would be a very nice thing to try. You get one package every month. And it's kind of a surprise from like what is the pattern and what is the yarn. It's a very super soft yarn. It's you can specify which color you like, so they will send you your preferenced color. You can choose it. I think they got a lot of colors you can choose from, but I think I chose purple, pink, green and blue. So this is a 2-ply, and it's a very bouncy, springy yarn. And yes, it is that pink, but for summer I think it would be fantastic under some white trousers and some open shoes. So this is what I'm working on. The other thing, there are downloads. I think I told you this was the Rose City Roller sock, but it is a free pattern. So got a doggy tag with the kitchen stitch on there. This way, but you all know the kitchen stitch, right? It's not gonna focus, but you get the idea. And there was some cocoa milk in there, so that was nice. It was a nice beginner's box. Next, I am working on more socks. I've got to show you the 4th time socks are now. I forgot to show you the band of the lovely pink socks of the colorway. I'm sorry about that. That's the active. That was they put the wrong thing on the ball band, about 40 degrees washing, and it should be 30. So this is the colorway, and I bought it at supergarner.com, and it is a German company. So sorry about the confusion. So the 4 at the socks time at the time were a bit annoying, so there are now 3 at a time. And this is my evening sock knitting when we watch Star Trek Voyager with the boys who really are into it now. So I'm working on those, and I just separated one of them and became the 9-inch circular, and now it became the double pointed needles because I like them for the heels. So this is the colorway Drops Fable print, and this is the color it is. Oh, that's okay. That's the blue one, and the black gray are those, and this is also the Drops Fable, and this is the color if you're interested. So this is something I'm working on at night. Well, the heel is something I'm working on now, because that's not something you want to do when watching television and getting confused about turning. And more socks, also a Drops Fable, and this is something from the stash that was already rounded up, but no label was there no longer. Just a bit stumbling over my words, I'm sorry. Been 3 weeks, a little bit out of shape, I think. So more socks. Yeah, why do we knit so much socks? That's what Christine from A Knitter's Life said. Why are we all so obsessed about knitting socks? I love the colorway. I think you can look it up if you want to. And this I turned over to the 9-inch circular. I really like the Chow Goose, I think best. Also got the higher sharps and the Addy sock rockets, but the Addy has only got 2.5 millimeter, which is a little bit too large for me. And I think the Chow Goose are a little bit less sharp, and I'll tend to split the yarn with the higher sharps. And this one is still on the double pointed needles, which still gives me a bit of lathering, and I'm a bit sad about that, because you can really knit fast. And I saw the Yarn Hoarders podcast, and she really made a point about the magic loop method, which I did so prefer. It takes a lot of time to keep pushing the needles and to make the loop again. And she says if you work on the 9-inch circular, you go so much faster. You can knit so much more socks. And that's when it switched and it clicked to me, and I thought, yeah, gotta keep trying that, and it works. If you keep trying, you will get there. Another one of my stash yarns, and it was a skein that was lying around for a time, and I really loved the colors, but there was only one of them, so I skeined it up. How bright is this? And I saw, I think Christina from A Knitter's Life and Regina from Herbstblatt Regina also made this one. It's the Star Shower, and it's a cowl, but you can wear it in many different ways. You can pull it over your shoulders, and I think, yeah, it was just about one skein, and I will try it and see if it works out and if it fits me, because it is a bit of a thing if you're larger than average, if it will fit you the way it's supposed to be. But this will block out very nicely. The stitch pattern is it's nice. I love it. So we'll see. It will be nice and bright, and maybe for spring. I don't know. I think it will be lovely. So I think I've got it all. Yeah. I just wanted to say some thank you for the people who purchased stuff in my shop. I really appreciate it, and it really makes me happy. And the nice comments you give me on Etsy, like this amazing yarn, the best yarn I've ever seen, or I'm so happy to own this yarn. So yeah, it's absolutely makes my day. And I saved up the money, and I ordered some new yarns. There was a lovely merino with bamboo base, which is amazingly soft. And I just heard on one of the Etsy classes I own that the bamboo or the silk does the same thing really as the nylon, so it makes the yarn stronger. But in this case it is amazingly soft, so that's great. Just the Ravelry group. There is still the Ravelry group, which is the Sweet Kitty Crafts podcast, and I opened the thread over there because I thought it would be very fun to do a knit along among each other. And the idea was socks, and just pick one pattern to start with. In January is a bit short, but if there are people who want to participate, I think we choose a pattern to begin with, maybe some baby socks or booties, which is very easy. And everybody who wants to participate knits the pattern, posts a picture. I draw one of the pictures of one of the entries, and that person can choose the next pattern we're gonna knit in the next month. So as long as there are participants and people like it, we can go on and on as long as we like. And that will be a way for us to knit socks we might usually not use, and for you to show you which sock which are your favorite socks. So we can learn from each other. We can see what are your favorites, what is something somebody else likes, and maybe you like toe-up, maybe you like knitting from the side, and we can learn from each other. And maybe at the end we'll throw in some prizes for the person who participated the most times or whatever. But the idea is just draw one person who participated, and that person may choose the next pattern. So it would be the best thing, I think, if it's a free pattern on Ravelry, or just a pattern that's has a low cost, so everybody can participate if they want to. So if you're interested, hop over to the Ravelry site and go take a look. You also can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Jolanda Loves Yarn. If you want to contact me in any way, or try to say something or leave a comment, you're always free to leave comments, because that's really motivating and very very nice. If you got a podcast and you want to have me take a look, just let me know. I just love to see what you're doing. And I think that will be it for now. I have started some scrap blankets. I showed you a few podcasts back. It was the granny square. I already started the knitted square sock blanket, and it's very addictive. If you start, you can't stop. And I had to do some Christmas knitting. So that I put away for a little bit. So I got more scraps now, because there are lots of socks finished. I finished the socks for my mother. I sent her those, and I finished Michael's sweater. He's wearing it, so I'll try to take a picture of it when he's wearing it, because he looks great in it, and it fits him amazingly. And he is always cold, so it's like a little stove around him. He said it was really warm underneath. So wool really beats the acrylic when it's coming to warmth. So I think I'll leave it at this point now. I hope you have a very nice time. I hope you liked this full podcast. Oh, sorry, just the shawl. Yeah, that was a finished object too. I didn't block it. I didn't weave in the ends, but it was the mystery advent shawl, long. I showed it you last time. It was the strange name I can't pronounce, but I'm gonna weave in the ends before next podcast and try to block it, and so I can wear it. I can show you it close up. I won't touch it now because whole thing will collapse. But you had some time to look at it. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon. Wish you all the best from this side to you on the rest of the world. Bye bye from now.